Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Let's go!
Jesse, there is something rather large that we would like to discuss.
I'm working on it.
Oh my God.
Oh.
We have to start the show with this because this is the biggest news potentially we've ever given you. Ever in your life.
Steve, how's your back?
You know what? Better than it's been in years.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, because you've done great work carrying this network on your back. But no longer will you have to do that.
Nope.
Oh, thank goodness.
Knoxy and Kax are stepping up
Okay.
in that role.
Yeah,
It is
sorry,
now-
CJ and Julian. Sorry, Alan Walsh. Definitely sorry, Andrew.
Yeah.
Ah, Andrew, what has he done? Just a show after every single game.
The
goddamn
laziest guy on the network.
It is now KKPN.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knoxy, that's what we're going with?
That's what we're going with because tomorrow on Knoxy and Kax, we are getting 3 letters. M, P, P. Marie-Philippe Poulin!
Oh, baby. Okay, now, is the episode done already? Have you guys already done it?
No, we're recording tomorrow morning.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Look
now,
out for-
Now, for everyone, who is that?
Oh my God. Don't even joke. That's not funny.
Marie-Philippe No.
That's not funny.
It's,
that is disrespectful. Take that back.
Put some respect on her name,
she,
please.
She's only won 1,000 gold
She's
medals.
only scored every single game-winning goal in every big game ever.
She has enough medals to melt down and build a statue of herself.
Which there should be one eventually somewhere.
Absolutely.
You know. Anyway,
Absolutely.
tomorrow on Knoxy and Kax is gonna drop. I'm gonna say 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. Marie-Philippe Poulin, Knoxy and Kax. Gonna be an amazing episode.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
It's that what Knoxy and Kax have been able to do in like I think they've been on 8 weeks. What they've been able to do, the guests that they've had lined up. Aaron Ambrose's story, by the way, is spectacular. Remember I used to do the Blue Line podcast for the Toronto Maple Leafs with Sasky?
I've been mourning its absence ever since.
Aaron was our first guest, and I remember I was late for that. And so my first question when we actually got under...
I was shocked.
Yeah, I'm sure you were shocked
no.
that I was late for something. I know Steve's usually the late one, but I also am late all the time. And I said, Aaron, if you were to show up to practice late, what would happen? And I remember that like her answer being very fun. I can't remember what it was, but it was sort of like I would be bag skated if I even was allowed to get dressed. In hockey, they do not put up with late.
No. What would be the podcast host equivalent of a bag skate?
I don't know. I think it was the ire of Sasky, honestly, at
Terrifying.
the time. Oh, yeah. She was not happy with me.
So Aaron's story. She was she got cut from Team Canada 4 years earlier. And then this year for centralization, she made it through. She made a centralization and then won a gold medal in Beijing. She was on Tuesday's episode of Knoxy and Kax. So go listen to that one. It's really good. 3 dogs make an appearance, which is the most fun. That's the fun of these remote recordings. You're into people's homes and just dogs are around. So
That
it's
is
awesome.
an SDPN record. I think the previous record was 2.
No, because Adam's got 2. You had 2 at one point. I got 1.
Yeah, but have they
Nope.
all been on camera?
No, not at once. But they've all been in the room because we did remote recordings for a year and a half.
Yeah,
right?
we did.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, they've all been in the
Oh.
room at once while we're recording for sure.
I think it's an SDPN record.
Okay,
It's cool.
it's very important.
That's
Anyways.
my new thing now. I keep track of records for our very young network.
Franchise records?
Franchise record.
I like that.
Tomorrow, MPP, Knoxy and Kax must listen. 1:30 p.m. Eastern time is when it's gonna drop.
Guys, I have something I want to drop to you. I want you to know.
Is it the beat?
No, I want you to know what it's like to work with Steve Dangle. Okay,
What I do? Like what I do? What I do?
you did nothing,
I know.
but this is something that I get consistently, and I'm not sure if Jesse gets it.
Okay.
I have a question that is consistently asked of me, and I have no problem with it. By the way, I usually can't accommodate the request, but I have no problem with people asking because who cares, right? Like if they ask, I can't do it. So a new feature on Instagram now it's called suggested questions. Okay. And as you know, I have a radio show, and a fan of that radio show messaged me and sent me a screen grab. And it said, Adam, who is Steve? And I guess with Instagram, when you comment to somebody, when you message somebody, Instagram will suggest a potential question that you can ask them in order to start up the conversation. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know how Google has autocomplete on certain sentences and stuff like that? Yeah. So what Instagram has is like, hey, here's a question that this account gets regularly asked.
It's like when you send an email on Gmail and they have the little quick replies.
Yeah.
It's like that?
100%.
Okay.
So this one, my quick reply, or quote unquote, to start the conversation is, can you pass this along to Steve? This is the most asked question on my Instagram account.
Gee.
Isn't that crazy?
Can you pass this along to Steve?
And one of my listeners for Virgin Radio was like, who is Steve?
The Steve Whisperer.
Because they don't know who you are.
And did that pop up for them to comment to you? Oh, okay.
So random people, if you message me, it'll show up in the suggestion. It'll say, can you pass this on to Steve?
They probably think it's like a bit. They probably think it's an inside joke and there's some character on the Virgin Morning Show named Steve.
Could be. Honestly, yeah.
Can you pass this along to Steve? So, you guys just talking about, how every office has a Steve. Am I right? No, it's me.
It's you.
Just little old me.
Yeah.
What do people want to pass along? Is it about how I'm wrong?
Usually it's stat related. It's like, hey, or sometimes you get press conference questions, which are really, can you pass this along to Jesse? And I always tell people to go to our Discord for that because I will forget. I'll be honest with you. I'll forget. Jesse knows this. Steve knows this. So if you want something like that, obviously Jesse's the guy to ask for. But a lot of people are asking about, hey, what's your opinion on so-and-so player from this team? What about this potential trade? I get a lot of great like trade proposals and stuff like that. Hey, I was just thinking, and they send it and whatever. And I can't give it back to everybody, but anyway, I just thought I'd let you know. The DMs are crazy. They're wild.
I will not shoot down a trade proposal ever.
Well, you can't, given what happened yesterday with Dadonov.
Well, first of all, there was that. But what I used to do is I thought people wanted like insider information or like expert opinions. Like, Steve, what do you know? What do you hear? And I used to give answers like that to make myself look smart. And what I realized over the years as I matured is, no, people just want to be told they're right. So what I will do is people go, what I think? What I think is the Leafs should they should go out and they should trade that Justin Hall. I'll be like, yeah, I could see that. For who? I think that Huberdeau guy on Florida. I'll go, Huberdeau, yeah. Man, that would be a coup. Quite the he could really add to the top six, and I will bend myself into a pretzel to make you right.
Oh, that's nice.
That's so true. It happens in real life even more when somebody's like coming up to you and they want to give their hockey opinion, they want to give their take. They just want to hear that. Yeah, they're right.
I will never tell you you're wrong.
No, you're right.
No, my dad. You know what I think of this player, and whatever he says, he'll be right. Man, this guy's bad or this guy's good.
Yeah, it'll be the most outlandish thing too.
Yeah, or I can massage you into believing something else.
But he'll never hear this. But the person I do this most with is my dad.
Oh, of course.
Just like
you.
Yeah? My dad, he's a religious Raptors fan. He's been watching Raptors since their inception, since Sky Dome days. And still to this day, his takes are the absolute worst because they're old man takes now. Yeah. He's in his late 60s, and all he does is yell about the referees. He says nobody can score. He hates Spicy P. He can't do anything. Doesn't like Siak. He doesn't like old man takes. And like consistently, I'm like, Dad, do you even like the team? But it's his favorite thing in the world to watch the Raptors. But all he does is complain about them. So now my thing is, you're right about that.
People have asked the same thing. They're like, do you guys even enjoy the Leafs? I'm like, immensely. Doesn't mean that they don't upset me from time to time. It's like, you enjoy your kids. Sometimes they're upsetting.
Yeah. I mean,
wait till they start talking back to you. It's fun.
You ever had a kid thrash while you try to change their shit diaper? But you still love that person.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. Now I want to.
But if any of my friends did that, it'd be at least a week till I spoke to them.
Jesse, I sent you a notification on your text, and I'm wondering if it's possible to filter it through to the billboard behind me on the SDPN logo.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, I want you to bring up this person's Twitter account because it's important. Okay.
You know what's great is I look directly at your screen and nothing is spoiled.
You can't see anything.
I can't see
Yeah.
anything.
When did you go blind?
I don't know. It never used to be this bad.
Do I have to put it on the thing, or can I just put it on the screen?
Put it on the screen or like so
Okay.
people can see it.
Okay.
And I want
Yeah.
Steve to be able to see it because I would like to shout out Jordan Wilmot, who said hi to me today at the store. I was at the store before the show.
Oh, yeah.
Now, here's my question for you. There's a reason I'm bringing this up, okay? So there's Jordan. Hi, Jordan. How are you?
Adam, are you in a wind tunnel in this photo?
No, I was trying. I'm trying something on. My hair's standing on it. I was trying something on.
Why did you have to go for Adam's jugular like that?
It looks like you just discovered the theory of relativity.
Marty, get in the car. Okay.
It looks,
All right.
So we're talking.
looks like you just tried to
this
break-
is what we're doing.
No, you just tried to break into Macaulay Culkin's house, but he had the doorknobs electrified.
This show is now about how bad Adam's hair is.
Oh, man. Okay, so Jordan and I are standing there. Where does it look like we are, and what does it look like we are holding?
Wind tunnel.
It was,
Other than the wind tunnel.
and a tarmac at an airport.
Do you ever have bad friends? Do you ever have bad friends? I have
The
bad friends.
beginning of the Wizard of Oz when the tornado comes.
Anywhere in Chicago.
And then I went home and there's no place like home. There's no place like home. Where does it look like I am?
All of those things we said.
Actually, though. Oh my God, the hair's not that bad.
I know where you are. You're at
Well,
Real
just say it.
Sports.
I'm trying to get to it.
You're at Real
Okay,
Sports.
the walls are
I think-
made of wood panels, so you are in my Nona's basement.
Oh my God.
I
Steve.
think everybody knows you're in Real
Real
Sports.
Sports.
Adam.
What are
It's-
we holding, guys?
You're holding the jerseys.
What's jerseys?
The next generation flip jerseys.
The Justin Bieber
Flipside,
collaboration
yeah.
with the Toronto Maple Leafs. And here's the thing. Those are the jerseys that I'm wearing tonight. I'm actually going to go to the game tonight. So I'm gonna. So I decided. I know Jesse ordered his online, but I couldn't wait. So I actually drove down to Real Sports after my show at Virgin before I came here to grab one. So I wanted to bring one to the studio because I figured it would be good for everybody to get a look up close, right? So we get a look, whatever. So there's a whole bunch of in this. The Toronto Skylines put on that, and obviously I've still got the sticker on it. The tags on it.
I feel like this jersey was designed for me to hate it, and I love it.
I love it too. Like that's why I bought it. I actually think I didn't buy the Heritage Classic one. I bought this one. This is great.
I almost feel like going, too bad. Haha, this jersey rules.
And then
Like, nice trying to get me to hate this. It's great, actually.
Yeah, they
there's
did a
the
fantastic
Toronto
job.
Scott, you can't really. I don't know if you can see it on the thing, but right here you can see like the CN Tower. Steve probably can't because it's blind, but
I'm wearing my glasses. How dare you?
do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so you got the CN Tower, and then everybody's asking about.
You got talking to the mic.
Oh, sorry. Everybody's asking about the reverse, the flip side thing, right?
The Drew side.
So what I thought was interesting about this jersey is they included the fight strap, which I feel is a very Justin Bieber thing because that would matter to a guy like Justin, because he always gets into fight.
Yes.
Remember Chris Pronger hit him from behind
Yep.
too, and what? So it's got a fight strap on it, and this is what the other side looks like.
Like, what's wrong with this?
I don't know. Other than people are saying, oh, it's Bruins colors.
Yeah, but they're not going to wear that during a game.
No.
It's also just a fun inside.
It's cool,
awesome.
right?
It's also
It's fun.
They did a great job.
Did I ever show you the OVO jersey I had?
With Kyle Lowry?
No, it was a Leafs OVO jersey, but I don't think it was like actual OVO.
It was sick though. I
But
remember
it had the logo Morgan Riley. I sold it for
Charity.
Easter Seals. But this is what that jersey reminds me of.
So
And everyone who I showed that jersey to was just like, "Oh, black and gold. That's disgusting." Kidding. They were like, "That's fucking sick. Where'd you get it?" And
it's
the
got,
answer is at a book signing, someone gave it to me.
it's got the honor, pride, courage.
So just go to one of those.
Yeah. How about write a book and go to a signing, and
Yeah.
it'll happen for you.
It's easy.
It's got the honor, pride, courage thing on it, obviously. So I thought it was really cool. What was crazy is that I walked into Real Sports. They don't have it anywhere else. I walked into Real Sports, and they were flying off the shelves. And it's so funny. Steve, you tweeted it last night about people over 30s Twitter. Like, are the jerseys ugly? No, it is the children that are wrong.
Yeah.
And so I thought, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to the game tonight. I might as well go repping, right? Like,
Do it.
And so I haven't bought a new Leafs jersey, and Jesse was kind of making fun of me for that in Hamilton a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, Adam still had a Reebok jersey.
Wow.
Yeah.
My last jersey. that I bought.
It was. That's why you need to know the fight straps are included in all the authentic jerseys now.
Isn't that cool too? Yeah. So here's the thing.
And I love the textured leaf.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
Like
No, it's a great jersey.
Dude, that's really
They
good.
look fantastic.
You can't really see it, but like it's actually it's all textured and raised.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautifully done.
I love it. I don't care.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. I love it for what it is, right?
Right.
If this was their permanent jersey, I'd be like, why is it black? It's not.
Yeah, we'd be ripping off the Lightning, who ripped off the Leafs.
Whoa.
That Lightning jersey is a Leafs jersey. Like it is.
I mean, it is.
Yeah, it's objectively a Leafs jersey. So anyway, that's why my hair looks like I went through a windstorm, is because I was trying on jerseys. And I got there and I'm like, I'm used to like small, medium, large. They're like, oh, are you a 52 or a 56? Or maybe are you a 48?
They've gone to hockey sizes now.
I'm like, I don't know what the hell that is. So anyway, I had to try a bunch on.
Is this real sports? I was hoping to get one of those Leafs jerseys.
Well, I actually called them beforehand. I'm like, do you guys have any of the Justin Bieber jerseys? And they're like, yeah, but they're flying off the shelves. I'm like, I'll be there in 10 minutes. And she's like, okay, they'll be around for you.
And you're
Like,
an
good.
adult man.
I'm an adult 33-year-old
and
man.
asked for the Justin Bieber jersey. By the way, so a lot of people they hate Justin Bieber based on principle. But I wanted to highlight a tweet. This is from Bianca Zilla. If Bieber has any influence over Matthew staying longer in Toronto, you can slap a chocolate Timbit logo on the Leafs jersey, and I wouldn't give a flying fuck.
That's such a great tweet, and it's so true.
And correct.
And it will. It absolutely will. By the way,
He's right, and she should say it.
Stop saying he's going to Arizona. If he was going to leave, he's going to like New York, LA, Miami. That's where you'd go.
Yeah.
So here's the other thing. I
Boston.
said I was a 33-year-old man.
No.
I said I was a 33-year-old man.
So,
Right?
For now.
Jesse, how old are you?
29.
For now.
21.
For now.
How old are you, Steven?
34.
How old are you?
I was 34.
Steve's the oldest man on the show. He's the oldest man on the
Old
show.
Man.
34.
When's your birthday?
March 12th.
Jesse, when's your birthday?
April 9th.
My birthday is April the 13th.
Hmm.
So you're on with two Aries. You're a Leo, right?
No.
I'm what the fuck is it? Pisces.
You're a Pisces. I don't even know what that is. Cool.
It's a fish.
It's two fish.
Oh, two, yeah.
Tag team.
Pie.
Red fish, blue fish.
You know pi means two?
Don't do that. You know he's bad at math.
It's 3.14
That's
a bunch of numbers. Well, I was like,
all right.
in what language?
No.
I'm just so trusting. I'm like, oh yeah,
yeah, that's the thing.
is that in Portuguese?
Adam
or
was
like-
doing something.
Well, there's a reason. There's a reason I'm asking. There's a reason I'm asking. What did Jesse get you for your birthday?
Oh, dude, I don't remember what anyone.
a hug,
for
and
my
a,
birthday.
a hug and a high five.
It was a hug and a high
Double
five.
H's.
Oh, there you go.
I got you about the same.
Yeah.
So we just thought it might be nice for your birthday.
No,
Yeah.
you're joking.
To get you
You're
one.
joking.
Yeah.
Oh my god, really?
Yes.
Thank you.
No problem.
You're
It's the
welcome.
same size as mine.
Oh my
It should fit.
Gosh.
And it should. Yeah. I wanted
you
to get one.
serious, guys?
Yeah.
Oh,
It was Adam's idea. He called me earlier. I'm like, that's fantastic. Just go do it.
what's better than friends?
I know. I was gonna get one for Jesse too.
Friends
I'm
with
like,
money.
I'm like, cancel your order. Well, I'll just buy
No, it's
you
already
one.
it's already shipped.
It's already
like,
shipped,
They're
so-
already doing it. They're really on
Jesse
top.
ships. So anyway, yeah. So that's your new Leafs jersey. And
What if I was like, yo, this thing's a piece of shit?
well, then I would have.
It would have been even funnier.
I guess I'm going to the store.
Well, you would have been like, I got you Blue Jays tickets.
Would have been like that
that's a way
infamous
back.
podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just thought it was kind of cool, and you should have it.
You guys are lovely.
No,
There you
I
go,
love you,
Steven.
buddy. Yeah, yeah. You know.
And that's the end of the show.
Yeah,
It's
goodbye.
actually
See you
so
later.
sweet.
Yeah, no. So here's the thing. I wanted
Turn on.
to talk about the next gen.
Yeah.
Should I put the Bieber side up so Steve's on the Leafs and I'll be the
Doesn't
Bieber
matter.
side?
Don't overthink.
Seems like a lot of work.
Anyway, long story short. Okay. I want to talk about, first off, Dadonov has not been solved as of the recording of this show. So what we do know, and I'm just doing a quick update here, we're not going to spend too long on it, is that the paperwork that he and his agent were due to file by June 30th, which is the deadline to submit your no trade list, was filed on time. And that was before the Senators traded him.
Oh, baby.
So that was filed on time. And so it's looking, again, they're doing a full investigation, but it is adding, according to Sportsnet, uncertainty over whether a deal could happen or not. Fried said, Golden Knights and the NHL were led to believe protection had expired or had not been filed properly, but there is correspondence proving the no-trade framework was filed correctly. Now, to Jesse's point yesterday, doesn't matter what Ottawa told them. Doesn't matter what Dadonov told them. It does not matter. Vegas had an opportunity to search this up with NHL Central Registry. They did not double check, and this is on them if this doesn't go through.
Dude.
Now, interestingly, Cap Friendly has reverted their numbers, and I believe they just did it. And so here's the thing, I have to be honest with you, I don't fully understand this. So I'm going to read you what's going on. And Jesse, do you want me to send you the tweet?
I got it here.
Okay, you got it here.
Yeah.
This jersey matches my glasses.
Here's what
really
it
well.
says, and I want to know what you can make of this. After reverting the Dadonov trade, so in Cap Friendly, it's now reverted. We now show Vegas with only $405,000 and $405,833 in thousands of dollars in usable space remaining in their LTI pool. Okay, so $400,000. As a result, they now need to clear $4,844,000 to activate Martinez and $9 million to activate Mark Stone. So does that mean that if those guys want to come back, they would be $13 million over the cap?
That it'd be actually closer to 13.9, Adam. Actually, no, it'd be over 13. It'd be about 14 million. That is my understanding. Now, I don't know if that's before the playoffs or after, because as far as I know, there's nothing with regard to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. If Vegas just waits this out, your cap problems are solved. You can just run to the end of the regular season and then bring everybody back for the playoffs.
So they can't play those guys.
Well, but if Vegas waits this out, they're going to miss.
Yes, that's the thing. It's tricky if you want these guys to play in the regular season. You're going to have to get guys off your roster. You're going to have you need more injured players, I guess. But they could, in theory, just hold everybody back into the playoffs.
And here's the other thing. People are asking, and I think rightfully so, because the salary cap's confusing. And by the way, if you know the salary cap off by heart, good for you. But stop shitting on people who don't. Okay, people have lives. Here's what I need to figure out this month. Taxes. I don't need to go in and figure out every rule that ever existed on the salary cap. You and I both know those rules are insane. The salary cap is ridiculously complicated, needlessly so. And people are asking, well, hey, if you go trade for Shea Weber, which you can do, does that help you? Does that help you in LTIR space? And according to Cap Friendly, simply acquiring players that are already on LTI would not work. The reason being is they need to first fit that player under the cap by using existing money that they have. And then they would have to place them on long-term injury. The result would be $0 in cap space gain. So if you have Shea Weber now coming in and you're already at the cap, it's useless to you. Next year, if you have $7 or $8 million, I think it's 7.9 that Shea Weber's cap hit would be. If you have $7.9 million under the cap and then you acquire after game 1 of the season and push yourself over the cap, that is the only instance where that opportunity would make sense for you. So Vegas can benefit nothing because you can trade people after the trade deadline.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's just that they can't play for you in the playoffs.
Yeah, CJ dropped a little, oh my God, the latest episode of the CJ show from yesterday is so good.
Incredible.
But he was talking about how Columbus a couple years ago almost made a post-deadline deal.
That would have been fun. I hope someone does
Of course. Well, here's the thing. Vegas is going to have to.
Oh.
Like, they're potentially going to have to.
They got to drop somebody.
Well, if they have aspirations of making the playoffs and clearing this space, they're going to have to make a deal to get rid of Dadonov, and all the bad teams who aren't going to make it can all of a sudden go, well. And they have all the leverage. All the leverage. They were already willing to tie a second-round pick to throw Dadonov into the sun. To a divisional rival, no less. What's it going to cost now? They're screwed. And it doesn't, under normal circumstances, yeah, you'd wait this out. Vegas is screwed. They're in a very obvious go for it year and might not even make it. But I think we all agree that if they do make it, it could go really great for them. Imagine you're the Colorado Avalanche or the Calgary Flames, and you work so hard to get to the top of the Western Conference, and the final wild card team is a healthy Vegas.
I'm down on them going. Even if they squeak in, I'm down on this.
I'm super down.
I'm not betting on
the
them
health
to
is
win
the
around.
skill is there. The health is not.
Sure.
Well,
Yeah.
we talked about this before they fell off a cliff. You're gonna go through the rigors of the playoffs, and they get Mark Stone back. You're acting like you're getting Mark Stone back at face value. You're getting Mark Stone post, what was it, back surgery?
People are saying that I got a message from somebody who was very angry about that.
About what?
They said we were spreading fake news. But
What happened?
Apparently, Mark Stone has not had the any surgery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's out.
He's out.
He's injured.
But he has not had
dealing with
surgery.
a back injury.
Right. Which,
Okay.
hey, I hear back injuries are easy to come back.
Super.
Right. They also don't have a goalie. Like, I'm not betting on any team when Robin Leonard's still out. Like,
Yeah.
He needs to get back into
Yeah.
the game. He needs to play some games. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I think it's a little too tough for them with Dallas playing a little better lately. You know, they still can't score, but Vegas is free falling with no goaltender and everybody injured. And I'm not betting on them doing any damage in the playoffs.
There's a world where they could be busy post deadline, like because they have to get rid of Dadonov. But what if this is crazy? What if Vegas gets a goalie to get them to the playoffs?
Do they get
but
somebody
then
to play
can't
for the
use
next
them?
20 games? Yeah.
Like
why not?
literally,
Why wouldn't you?
Why not go out and get James Reimer? I'm not kidding. Why not go out and pay whatever it takes? Go get James Reimer, get him to get you into the playoffs. He should be good enough. And then you're there. At very least, you're there.
You need to drop salary, and you need to entice a team like San Jose to take it on. So here's the thing with San Jose. They have the cap space to do it right now without the subtraction of whatever Reimer's salary is. They can take Dadonov's contract. Other teams included are the Coyotes, the New York Rangers, who would not be involved, Devils, Kraken, Predators, Senators, Blue Jackets, Ducks, Red Wings, and Sabres. A lot of those I would imagine would be on his no-trade team. But I look at this for like, a team that cannot score goals, who can't sign players either. If you can get him to waive, the Buffalo Sabres, what a great opportunity, right? It's the reason he signed in Ottawa for what he did. They overpaid for him because they have trouble signing free agents, and they got him for 3 years, and he's under control, and people like that because, it's the same reason Ottawa traded for Hamonic, because they knew, well, first off, that was a really stupid trade, but at the same time, they're like, we need people who are warm bodies under contract.
So I want to talk about that for a second. Because you said Buffalo, and I was like, wow, he's not going to go to Buffalo. Buffalo would be on his no-trade list.
I would think.
Because he has a 10-team no-trade list. Anaheim?
Yeah, I didn't get that one either.
I feel like not.
I've heard that's a great place to be.
Yeah, not enough of us are talking about, you don't want to go to Anaheim, California?
I'm going to guess it might be a West Coast thing. Like,
Oh,
it's-
Place for Vegas!
No, but Vegas might have not been on the list at the time. Who knows? Maybe
yeah.
Vegas is a little better, but
They
maybe,
were not on the list. Yeah.
Maybe he has just a West Coast thing. Maybe it's like Vancouver's on there, LA's on there,
The
Anaheim's
travel.
on there.
Could be the
Yeah,
travel.
Could just be that. I'm literally just throwing things at a dartboard.
I mean, maybe.
Anaheim's an odd one. You're right, but Jesse, I think that's got to be the most plausible.
Yeah.
And if maybe he was thinking, if I'm gonna have to travel, then I want to make sure that all the teams that are not gonna make the playoffs, or at least I don't think are gonna make the playoffs, I don't have to go to them. He's probably thinking, I don't want to travel all those hours in the air for nothing. Does that make sense?
It does. I mean, I don't like commuting either, Evgeny.
Maybe there's some organizational structure that he doesn't like.
Yeah.
Maybe he's looking at upper management.
Coach
GMs
he doesn't like?
He's had. Yeah, there should be a host of
anything.
reasons. Like,
Maybe-
I don't think we'll ever know.
Well, here's another thing. Maybe he wants to be with a contender. And last
That's
year,
right.
Anaheim sucked.
Yeah.
And that's why he
That's-
didn't want to go there.
That was
Yeah.
what I was
But,
thinking. Then he wouldn't have to travel for not.
A lot of
but
people
now
were
his
just-
only options are to either stay with Vegas or go to a shitty team.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of people are just looking at the city and they're like, "Oh, Anaheim's a great place." There's a million reasons why he could not want to go to Anaheim.
Lost in all this, if he's going to be sticking around, they absolutely need him to play at his best in order for them to miss the play or make the
Yeah.
playoffs.
Yeah, they do.
Yo, they're fucked. They're not in a good way.
Mm-mm.
This is a team has not been in this unique of a situation where they could miss the playoffs or win the Stanley Cup since the Tampa Bay Lightning in 2016-17 when the Leafs ended up beating them for a playoff spot by this much.
And
Vegas is one of those teams that could be out in 4, or they could go right to the finals.
100%.
You just
and
don't know.
Colorado, Tampa didn't blow it up after that year either. They were like, "This is an aberration.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna leave it. We missed the playoffs, and we're gonna come back next year and do the thing." And then now they have back-to-back cups.
I
They
saw
had
them
two-
that year. I went that year where they missed the final or the playoffs, and they just got crushed by Nashville when I went. And I remember
Tampa?
thinking, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you were there.
And I remember thinking, like, not in the playoffs, just a regular season game.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, man, what happened to the Lightning? This is kind of crazy. And you look at the lineup, you're like, they'll figure this out.
Everyone got hurt, and then all the kids who were just wrecking shop are like they're stars now. Like wasn't that Braden Point breaking out? And
Yep.
You remember that there was like a lot of Braden Point MVP talk that one year?
Yeah, there was.
No,
It was like halfway through the season.
There was.
He was like one of the front runners.
I mean he's disgusting.
Yeah.
So
Still doesn't get his due, I don't think.
No.
So I want to just quickly talk to you about, before we get into some of the Arizona Coyotes stuff. Seeing Mark Giordano in a Leafs practice jersey yesterday. How did you feel feelings?
Oh, it's so much better than Photoshop, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Like we are in the year of our Lord 2022, and we know how to do truly incredible things. And every Mark Giordano Photoshop I've seen, or any Photoshop of any player I've ever seen in a New Jersey, looks like it's done with MS Paint. And
You're being mean.
No, I am not. I saw
Their necks are always very long.
Yeah, I saw photos of Mark Giordano in a Leafs jersey that made me think the trade was undone. That's how bad they were. And then, but now I see those real photos, and I'm like, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's him in this jersey.
I'm only going to defend the social media managers out there who have to do the Photoshop jerseys, because I had to do them for Tim and Sid.
Is it that they're overworked and have to do too much?
And you shouldn't criticize them at all. They are perfect people. They do not control the teams. They do not make roster changes. All they have to do is little Photoshops, and you should give them, not give them hell for them.
I won't.
Okay, good.
I won't.
You just were, so don't do that. They're very kind people.
Tim and Sid used to have a really bad one.
What's that?
Like a Photoshop guy.
Shut up.
It's just really bad.
Oh, he was trash.
He was awful.
I hear he wasn't there more than like a year though.
No.
Yeah.
Couldn't cut it.
Bad attitude.
Well, for sure.
Loves to quit. It's his favorite thing. Do bad Photoshops.
Where are we going with this conversation? What's up?
We're just
What were we
talking about.
Oh yeah, it was cool.
Talking about a guy we knew.
All right.
Also, Mark Giordano at practice. Eric Shalgren is about to wear his 4th jersey in 4 games.
Oh, it's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, and
That's
by the
cool
way,
record.
he is not starting tonight.
No, it is Peter Mrazek, because if you can't start Peter Mrazek against the New Jersey Devils, then you can't start him at all.
I'm so glad I purchased tickets. I bought these tickets.
I'm willing to bet they were cheaper than others.
They were actually.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's the Devils.
Leafs, the Leafs have ticket pricing that goes up depending upon how good the opponent is.
I
So
got it.
these were, and I got a little discount because I work at Bell. So I got a
Ooh.
little percentage discount because they do that for employees. So I decided, I'm like, let's go to the worst team on a Wednesday and go see a game. And because I told you guys, like, before the Heritage Classic, I hadn't seen an NHL game since, like, I think 2019.
What was your last in-building hockey game?
I think it was in building. I think it was Leafs and Bruins, and it was the one where Mitch Marner, it's the playoffs. Mitch Marner blocked the shot at the end of the game, and they won.
Game 3, 2019.
I was there,
Yeah.
and it was incredible. And Mitch Marner, I worship the altar of Mitch Marner for that. It was a fucking crazy game. They should have won that series. They should have won that series. They were the better team in that series.
Yeah, but Mark Giordano.
But yeah, seeing Mark Giordano tonight's going to be kind of special and cool. Yeah, Shalgren wearing his 4th jersey. That's amazing.
I'm a little pissed this jersey doesn't have 11 Blackwell on it.
So here's my problem though. Okay.
What?
So I already told you guys months ago that the Leafs were going to lose the outdoor game at the Heritage Classic. I told you it was going to happen. They
You
did.
might have even said 5-2.
And I doubt that. But
don't.
here's the problem. Devils played last night. They lit up MVP runner-up Igor Shesterkin, who has had a really bad 4-game stretch. By the way, Rangers fans, I feel for you. He's losing the Hart Trophy as we speak. He's had a .403 goals against average and an .878 in his last 5.
Dude, this is the thing with goalies in the Hart race is they go backwards fast.
That's right. And so, New York goes out and makes all those trades, and that's how Igor rewards them. So, I don't know. Just be nice if he cared more.
It's not that he's a bad goalie. It's that he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, 100%. But anyway, so the Devils pumped New York last night, and then they're coming into Toronto on the back half of a back-to-back, and the Leafs are wearing special jerseys. Does that not set up a disappointing Toronto game?
Oh, 100%.
They're perfect for that.
They won the St. Pat's game last Thursday.
I know. I'm just giving you shit.
It definitely... Okay, so new chemistry for the Leafs. Devils are tired.
Mm-hmm.
New jerseys. This has all the makings of a defense be damned game.
Right.
The last Devils game was wild. Do you remember that one? The one in New Jersey?
No.
I don't remember.
No, what was that?
That was it the one where the Leafs got out to they blew a 3-goal lead and then still won, and it was before the All-Star break?
Jesse, that does not narrow it down. Unfortunately, I wish it did. I really do. The Leafs have almost blown several leads against the New Jersey Devils. They blew one and then won in overtime because Severson scored on his own net. They almost blew another one a couple of years ago.
By the way, starting tonight is John Gillies, who is 6'6" and 223 pounds.
That's a
goalie.
That's a lot of cannon fodder.
So somebody asked Don Lecision for a player card on John Gillies. Can I run you through this?
He's like the worst regular goalie in the NHL.
His projected wins are 0 based on Don's model. And his market value, so they have a market value part. His contract is 0.08 million, right? So no, it's 0.8 million. So 800 grand. His market value is -0. So
that's
like it's a 0. It's 0 with a negative in front of the dollar sign.
He's going to win tonight.
I
hope you're all ready.
That's what I'm worried about. I'm like, I'm wearing the jersey. I went out and bought it.
Right.
It's a one-time thing. It's the kids are coming. This is supposed to be for the kids of this game. You know, I'm a kid at heart.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, this is gonna be the Leafs are gonna leaf this, aren't they?
For those wondering why these are like childish jerseys, it's for the next generation game that is designed for kids, and it's supposed to be in the afternoon. But because of the schedule screw up, they can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, kids are going to stay up late.
The Devils Leafs game I was talking about was before the All-Star game. The Devils were up 4-2 in the game, and then they pulled Campbell, and then Mrazek went in. The Leafs scored 4 goals in the third period and came back and won it 6-4. And then it was on a back-to-back. And then the next night, the Leafs won 7-1. They beat the Devils again. It was a home and home.
Oh, yeah.
It was a home and home versus the Devils.
Yeah.
The first night it was chaotic because the Leafs came back and they scored 4 goals in the third.
That was the start of a little run for them.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah.
And then next night they win 7-1 in New Jersey.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I don't know. You should see a good game tonight, Adam.
I think so. I'm just being leafy about it. Now,
hey, you like goals?
I do like goals.
You got a lot of goals.
You see some goals tonight. What was your favorite cereal growing up? Go.
Fruit Loops.
Jesse.
The spicy ones.
Stop it. Stop it. All I'm trying to do is introduce you to Magic Spoon and its deliciousness.
The jalapenos cereal.
Cereal upsets my stomach, except for Magic Spoon doesn't because it's good for you. 0 grams of sugar.
Honeycomb.
0 grams of sugar. 13 to 14 grams of protein. Only net 4 grams of carbs for each serving. It's keto friendly. It's gluten free. It's grain free. It's soy free. It's low carb, and it won't upset your tummy like it does with me.
Jalapeno free.
Build your own box. Available flavors are amazing: cocoa, fruity frosted,
Scotch
peanut
bonnet.
butter, blueberry cinnamon cookies and cream, and maple waffle. None of them are spicy. They're all good. And by the way, the promo code is SDP. We got something amazing for you. You go to magicspoon.com/SDP and use the promo code SDP for $5 off your order. In addition to your cereal boxes, be sure to grab some cereal bars while supplies last.
Whoa.
And Magic Spoon is so confident you're going to like their product. It's backed by a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they will refund your money. No questions asked. Again, that's magicspoon.com/SDP to get $5 off a custom bundle of cereal or to try out their delicious new cereal bars while supplies last. And for Canadian and British fans, sorry everybody else, Magic Spoon is now shipping to Canada and the UK. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring this episode. By the way, they do ship to the US. I shouldn't mention that.
Oh.
You know what's
balls.
It's got it.
That could be the whole ad.
It could. You know what we're talking about, right? Right?
Your balls.
It's Dangle. Dangle. Go Go to manscaped.com. You're going to get 20% off and free shipping with the code. What code?
Dangle.
Thank you. At manscaped.com. 20% off free shipping. You can do that if you want to. Let's talk about the number one product in the package, the Lawnmower 4.0. It's an electric trimmer. It's designed to trim hair on loose skin, which avoids nicks and cuts. And the package also includes the Weed Whacker, the nose and ear hair trimmer to whack all the worst of your weeds. Now, let me ask you this. Have you had the moment where your partner has pointed out to you that you have ear hair? Are you at that age yet? Because I am.
Oh, ear hair.
Ear hair. That's what the Weed Whacker's for.
Has your partner pointed out your hair? And I'm like,
no, ear hair.
I thought you were thinking about the downstairs region.
That's what I was.
I said ear hair. Did I not say ear hair?
He said it, and I don't know where your mind went.
No, like,
he's always thinking about my downstairs.
He was all Canadian. Hey, she ever talk about your hair?
No,
nope.
Ear hair.
But ear hair.
Have you? I'm assuming no.
No, not yet.
Yeah, so Natalie
I've
said
had the
that to me
conversation
other week.
with myself.
Okay, well,
Okay. This is off the rails.
I used the Weed Whacker last week. I obviously had nose hair. I'm looking how hairy I am, but ear hair, I was like, oh my God, I'm becoming my father. So if you want to avoid that, you want to keep it trimmed, go to manscaped.com, use that promo code DANGLE. Manscaped has created their products for you, and they want to offer you 20% off and free shipping with the code DANGLE. Again, manscaped.com, promo code DANGLE. Your balls will thank you.
And so will your ears.
You're the only person that I've seen that has suggested that the NHL torpedoed a Weber trade to Arizona.
I've heard
And that's
several things on that.
for anybody that's missed.
I
for anybody
don't
that missed
know.
that,
I may not have the reason why it didn't happen correct. I may not have that
but
correct,
it was torpedoed.
But the Coyotes did try to get Weber. Yeah.
Okay. So,
Or inquire.
Weber's contract, right? Because he's not coming back.
Right.
So,
Doesn't look like it.
Katie Strang was the one that last year, I think it was last year or like December 2020, put out an article about the culture around the Arizona Coyotes.
Bill Armstrong.
And how bananas it was from the ownership on down. It wasn't the Bill Armstrong piece. It was the other piece where it was like the owner.
Morello?
Yeah. Who, people, I guess, in the organization didn't really like, and how upset they were. No, I think it's Gutierrez. Gutierrez and Morello, I think, whatever their names are. Anyway, long story short, Katie knows her stuff. And it's very, very interesting because they are going into the in-depth look at what we've been talking about all season, which is the Coyotes do not have a home for next year. Well, now they do. Oh, and it's Arizona State University. 5,000 people can go. It's not great. Oh, wait, with the renovations, it's only going to be 3,200.
Which they haven't begun.
They haven't even begun the renovations. That's right. Now, if the renovations, I believe if they started this month, it would still be 6 or 7 months before the renovations would be complete.
December is when they would have their first home game of the season.
And that's if it started now?
Yeah.
So they
if it starts on the projected schedule that they've outlined right now, they would have to be on the road until December.
That is
Just in time for all the commuting students to go back home.
that is 12 weeks on the road. 12 weeks. How are they ever going to sign anybody?
Well, it wrecked a good team like the Islanders. Imagine what it'll do to them.
Yeah, 100%. Now, here's the thing. Based on what we know about the Shea Weber contract and them trying to get to the cap floor, they're expecting that not a lot of people are going to want to play there next year, but it's an NHL job and you'll take it, right? If that's all you got, you'll go. What was interesting to me, and we're going to go through some of this article because it's not fair to them to just go, here, I'm going to read this verbatim for you because they did all this work. But here's what I love.
I saw someone today. They're like, oh, don't worry. I'll screenshot the article for you. Don't.
Yeah, don't fucking do that.
Because I don't know how to word this lightly. That's stealing. That's setting your phone to steal.
Is it? That's actually setting your phone to steal.
It's actually setting your phone to steal.
Well, listen, if you're going to do it, because people are going to do it, at very least tag the author and say, hey, this person wrote this for this.
No, don't do it.
No, don't. I understand people doing snippets. A snippet.
Not the whole article.
But I love when people do the 4-picture Twitter thread, and I'm like, okay, so that's just you stole the article then.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. So we don't want to steal the article, but I want you to read it.
Let's not encourage stealing content.
Yeah.
Go pay the fucking $5 it takes for a year subscription to The Athletic when you get all those fucking discounts.
And
go pay your $5.
And speaking of which, that's what I meant, was somebody was going to screen grab one thing, not the whole fucking article.
Oh, no, that's what I saw today is, oh, don't worry, I'll screenshot it for
Oh,
you.
okay, yeah.
Like,
no,
dude.
now what's crazy about this article is that it's long. It would take you 20 or 30 screenshots to do this whole thing because they deep dive the shit out of the Coyotes. And I'm going to pick it up about at the end of their introduction. Said one non-Coyotes player who lamented the financial impact it would have on players throughout the NHL, they're costing everyone money year after year. Mm-hmm. That is how the NHL views this. Now, the owners and the players don't have a lot in common. But on this point, they are aligned. And the reason I know that is because we've sort of talked about it on AP with Alan Walsh. He mentioned this. He said, you do something like this, you are going to have to look at a situation where the Coyotes cannot take part. Now, he isn't saying that this is going to happen, but I think it's going to happen, where the Coyotes cannot take part in revenue sharing.
And that's because there is no illusion that they could even become close to profitable with a building this small.
Because the system is supposed to be, everybody's trying to be profitable, but for those who are not, we're going to help you out. And by the way, the revenue share checks that they write, I'll say this again and again and again, are so infinitesimal. You could not pay Phil Kessel's contract this year with the revenue share checks that the Coyotes get. They get one check, and it's about $5 million.
Oh.
So when everybody talks about the small market teams couldn't survive without revenue share, the maximum check is like $5 million. Bullshit. Well, luxury tax, please.
And we're talking about like that's enough to maybe pay like some of your team's employees.
It's Austin
like
Matthews' right arm.
Yeah, less than half.
So
less than half of his deal. It's less than half of 3 Leafs.
So this is an interesting question. What will a day in the life of an Arizona Coyotes player look like next season? That's one of the questions they outline. They said much will depend on when construction is completed. The best case scenario is that both the arena and the accompanying areas are done by December. That is Arizona State, not Tempe.
No, Tempe.
Yeah, Tempe is like 3 years, 4 years.
With the Coyotes on the hook for an estimated, remember I told you the revenue share. How much is the revenue share worth? What's the check they write?
$5 million.
Right. Coyotes are on the hook for an estimated $20 million to build a 2-story, 15,000 square foot annex of amenities, locker rooms, medical areas, workout facilities to comply with NHL and NCAA standards. Even if the arena is finished earlier, and which, hey, by the way, if you've ever done renos, they're not. And the team is able to play before the annex is completed, the Coyotes will likely begin the season on the road, a move not without precedent. The Islanders did it for 13 straight road games. And where are the Islanders? Are they in the playoffs this year?
They are in the toilet. They're getting better, but they're
gonna
started
miss.
real bad.
Yeah.
Now, it goes on to talk about how they're going to face some logistical and schedule things. And we're going to obviously talk about some of that stuff, but I want to, again, allow for some of this to be read by you, the person who wants to read this article, because it's absolutely spectacular. Currently, the Coyotes' end-of-season cap hit is estimated to be around $75 million, although actual salary expenditure is expected to be closer to $67 million. And one of the issues I have with that, and again, that number, by the way, is going to get much bigger. The gap between what they say what the cap says and what they spend is going to grow.
Right.
Why is it that everybody has a huge issue with Tampa, Montreal? I think this year is spending $100 million. The Toronto Maple Leafs have done it. The Rangers, I think, have done it. Boston definitely does it. Vegas does it. Why do we have an issue with teams spending $100 million in real dollars, but we don't have an issue with teams spending no money? You have an issue with teams going over the cap, quote unquote, but under it in actual cap dollars, right? Mm-hmm. In actual dollars, you don't have an issue with them spending less, but quote unquote spending close to the cap or above the floor in fake dollars.
Because remember, the cap is double-sided. The cap is there's a ceiling to prevent competitive advantage,
mm-hmm.
and there's a floor to prevent competitive apathy.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are spending below the floor, which it looks like they might, that's competitive apathy. You're not even trying.
You're not even trying.
Like, okay, one of the things that was discussed is, the Coyotes badly need players under contract for next season. I kind of think that's part of the reason they didn't trade Jacob Chicken.
Mm-hmm.
They could have got this windfall for him. At the end of the day, you need players, and you need some of them to be good. For
you need
God's
a
sake.
watchable product. As I mentioned to you, seeing the Coyotes at ASU is going to be a spectacular environment. When else are you going to see an NHL team with 3,000 people? You have the opportunity to win over a young audience that's going to join the workforce in a few years and then get into their prime earning years when you expect to be good, aka the people that'll buy your tickets. But if your team sucks ass, you're not going to build a team. You're not going to be able to build the environment.
I tell you what, you better have good drink deals. Because if I was a student, that's the only reason I'd go. It's in the States, though. Fuck.
It's something they outlined. It's something they outlined in the article, in that it'll be a spectacular event in seeing an NHL professional hockey playing in this building. And they had the numbers of like the AHL buildings that are going to be bigger than this, the OHL buildings that are
ECHL has
already
a bunch
building.
of
they have those numbers in there.
Well, the KHL.
They said it'll be a great event for anybody coming in for the night and watching. But the quote they had is, every other team in the league will be laughing at us when they visit. That was a Coyotes player who said that. They're going to be laughing at us.
There's no avoiding that reality for the Coyotes next season. That quote, Jesse, is insane. They will likely be in an uncomfortable and unsettled situation. More unsettled situation than the players they are competing against. And NHL players are a proud group, being the butt of jokes and jabs about playing for what might feel like a minor league operation is not ideal. And as again, that's where they lead in with that quote. Every other team will be laughing at us when they come to visit us. That is a current Coyotes player saying that.
So as much as it's a spectacular event for the fan, for us as media people, like I want to take a trip to go see an NHL game in this building. But for the guys in that room who got to do this makeshift college arena thing, like they're going to be laughed at, and it's not fun for them.
Hari Sateri, who the Coyotes just claimed off waivers, played in Siberia, Russia, in front of a building with a capacity of 7,000. Like, this is
Siberia.
2,000 more.
There's 2,000 more than the maximum before they have to take seats out for the dressing rooms, Jesse.
Right.
Like, people keep saying 5,000. It's not.
No, it's going to be like 4,200.
He played in a 7,000-seat arena that is double the size. It's going to, by the time it's all said and done, it'll be nearly double the size.
Remember when Gary Bettman said they would generate potentially more revenue?
You mean when he lied?
Yeah. Well, what we said was, it's almost like what Keith Olbermann told us on Agent Provocateur. When teams say they're losing money, it doesn't mean they're not profitable. It just means they made less profit this year than last year. They're not losing any money.
What was his quote? An accountant can make any number. So I forget.
He said the accountant can make any number, do anything. The numbers could say whatever you want them to say.
Right. That was.
And he told a story about the Dodgers, and I guess they won the championship, and then the next year they missed the playoffs. And GM Wonders in the owner's office, and he goes, "Yeah, it was still a pretty good season." Blah blah blah. And the owner said, "What do you mean good season? We lost money this year." And the GM's walking out thinking he's going to get fired. And one of his friends said to him, "Don't worry. We made $6 million last year. We lost, quote unquote, $2 million, but we still made $4 million this year." And that's when houses were $5,000. You know, like
they lost money because they didn't make as much.
So here's the thing: a front office executive, is that possible that the Coyotes will generate more revenue? Now, I think they might lose less revenue, but the front office executive quote says that's hilarious if you actually know the business. And this is interesting. According to a league source, the average NHL team makes about $2.3 million in fan-driven revenue. It's tickets, parking, food, beverage, and merchandise sales. I don't think the Leafs make much. You would think that
per game?
No. All season.
No, that's per game.
That's per game.
So yeah, it's a little different.
Oh, it's a little different. Okay,
yeah, dude, the cap is like 81.
Oh yeah. The Coyotes in Glendale make less than $900,000.
Yeah, it's a little different per team to per team. Like we did these numbers a couple months ago during the pandemic when fans couldn't go to the stadiums, and we saw the Ottawa numbers, we saw the Toronto numbers. In comparison, like Toronto's making a couple $1 million more than the Senators. No offense, but yeah. So like that's per game there.
At this point, they talked to an accountant about this. If each Coyotes fan represents $314 in value, that's tickets, parking, food, whatever. Using an average of 10,000 fans, the Coyotes would be generating around $850,000 in fan revenue per game. Under the 5,000 person model, the average general ticket costing $100, they would have to increase it to $300 a ticket, which is more than I paid for both my Leafs tickets tonight. Assuming sellouts and current concession merchandising prices remain the same, they would then be able to make $850,000 per game at $300 a ticket in a sellout situation. And by the way, need I remind you, this is a university.
Yeah.
And to go see the NCAA, which is a far better product than the Coyotes ever will be.
Well,
maybe. I mean, not ever will be. The Houston will be great. I think
Tempe's got great potential, but you got to get there.
Yeah. I think the Coyotes are gonna, if they can't up the tickets that much. I don't even think if you're the Coyotes, if you're just gonna take the L, and you have got to lower ticket prices, because what kind of college kid can spend $100 on anything other than
$300?
Well, that's just a model.
That's
not what
to
they're going to charge.
Make them the same profits that they're making now. You'd have to have the ticket prices be astronomical.
Jesus.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Crazy money. And obviously they go into a whole bunch of other things, COVID revenues, things like that. And here's the other unmentioned hurdle. The city of Tempe has yet to approve the arena.
Wait, sorry, say that again.
Tempe has not approved the arena yet.
Yeah. Oh. That's they might not have anywhere to play. They need the new rink to start getting construction, else they can't play anywhere.
That feels like an underrated aspect of this story. How many weeks or months away are we from? Oh yeah, never mind. They can't even do this.
Yeah, I'm waiting for. I don't know when the city council meeting is, but that's what's going to happen. Like, they're all going to vote on it, and I'm waiting for the day we see the news update drop, and it's like, oh, city council voted against building an arena for the Coyotes because they don't pay anybody the money they're owed. We can't trust this franchise to be run operationally. And then after they vote down that arena, if they do, then the team's just going to be sold and moved.
The Coyotes were also put on a $50,000 per month payment plan in October to settle outstanding accounts with the city of Tucson for back rent when the Tucson Convention Center, where their AHL team plays, was not paid. The bill was not paid for that. Remember, they also didn't pay taxes. Mike Stevens looked that up. That was a great find by him. Mikey Stevens, that is. The payment plan was initiated. The back rent owed to the Roadrunners season totaled $250,000. And as of last week, the overall debt has now been whittled down to $145,000. One aspect of the ASU deal seems obvious. They said germane, but I'm going to say obvious. The university is requiring the Coyotes to pay upfront for construction and to prepay rent and expenses prior to each season.
Wow.
Oh!
Not each month, each season.
Oof. Pretty penny.
They can't pay the Roadrunners $150,000.
Yeah, that was new information.
Or they're choosing not to.
It was new information that not only were they delinquent on their NHL payments, but their AHL team was also delinquent.
So, an issue with Shea Weber, and getting his fake contract. This isn't Pavel Datsyuk. Pavel Datsyuk, I think it was a $7.5 million cap hit, zero actual dollars. Shea Weber, over the next, if you include, let's say they made a deal at the deadline, if you include a chunk of money that they owed this season.
Sorry, I was breathing into the microphone again.
Oh, I didn't even know.
My bad. I'm looking through stuff and I'm going, yeah, just really angry about the Coyotes. Sorry, go ahead, Steve.
If you include some of the money that Weber is owed still this season, plus the money he's owed over the next 4, because his contract still goes for another 4, he's still owed like $7.5 million. And that's a lot of money to spend on a guy who's not going to play for you.
But they they find that to be preferable because of the money they don't have to spend. It's opportunity cost. They would rather pay him.
I still think it's too much.
Steve, they don't have a choice. It's opportunity cost. It's like, do we spend $7 million in actual dollars, or do we spend $3 million and not have to worry about the other $3 million?
It's still it's still money going out the door for nothing.
That's the point. It's less money going out the door for nothing.
Like, here, let me look at
Steve. What? If I say this coffee costs $5 and this coffee costs $3, and they're the same coffee, what one are you buying?
The $3 one.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's less money out the door, right?
Well, no, Adam. I think what I'm getting at is I can't afford coffee today.
Right. So
sorry, Steve. You'll have to prepay for your coffee.
You're just providing reason for them to take the Brian Little contract instead of the Shea Weber one, right?
Well, actually, Brian Little's is terrible too. Because, so remember with David Clarkson and Nathan Horton, one of the contracts was insured and the other wasn't. I wonder if Brian Little's is insured and Weber's isn't.
Yes, I think that's what we're coming to.
Because Little is owed far more money than Shea Weber.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and we know on good authority that all of Shea Weber's contract isn't insured.
Oh boy. Why didn't they insure it?
I don't know.
I don't know why that's not just policy.
Yeah.
The Leafs insured. I know it costs money. I know there's cost to that, but you write that off against the expenses of the club. I don't understand that. That's cost of doing business.
I don't know, dude.
Wow. We gotta have on an accounting person.
That seems like a regime change was needed and they made one. But
so I totally understand what you're saying about the $5 coffee and the $3 coffee. There are some people who can't afford coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I don't think they can afford
But if
coffee.
you're being forced to spend coffee money anyway.
So now they've acquired a coffee that's being paid by the insurance company.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So they don't want the one that's not, they have to pay out of pocket.
Fair enough. Well, listen, at the end of the day, and you should read this article, it's all the way through. It's the challenges with city council, the financial challenges, the player challenges. Listen, it has the potential to be a great opportunity for the Coyotes to actually make a mark in the community. Mm-hmm. Remember I told you about my honeymoon? I walked out of the airport. I'm like, where are the Coyotes playing? And someone's like, who? No idea. And that doesn't mean that's everybody in Arizona. Arizona fans deserve better than this. This could be a spectacular opportunity, but no matter how you slice it, this organization is going to lose a boatload of money in the next 5 years. And they want to put $1.7 billion into a new arena complex. So, like, the money is crazy high, but they do have an opportunity. I hope they take it. I hope they make those tickets like $50. If you're going to lose, listen, if you're going to already lose hundreds of thousands a game, what's a few 100,000 more? If you get Shane Wright, mm-hmm. They win the first overall pick and they get Shane Wright. And they will.
The worst thing that can happen is he does great.
You got to leave him somewhere in the minors.
Because you got to pay great rookies bonuses. Like they're in a really strict financial situation, right?
Yep. So
league minimum, so he'll probably sign for the maximum ELC because he's the first overall pick. Maximum ELC is like $950,000. Mm-hmm. But after bonuses, it's like 3.5. And they're in a strict budgetary situation. How do you account for that? There is no amount of questions that feels like enough when it comes to the Arizona Coyotes. Like, are they going to get the first overall pick and trade it because they're that screwed? Dude.
Will the arena even be ready for his second contract?
And this isn't even most teams. Okay, well, we get the first overall pick, then fans flock to the building so they can see our great player. What building? You're playing with 1/5 of an NHL building. You're going to have to jack the ticket prices, and there's just a finite amount of people willing to pay $300 to go to a hockey game.
And the loser here, and you're not a loser if you are this, the people who lose are the Coyotes fans who deserve. If you're still a Coyotes fans after all of this, boy, how
you deserve better. How
You're
many Coyotes fans, the moment they made the decision to move to this smaller building, got priced out of the Coyotes?
Well, I don't think that they were saying that they would raise the 100.
That was just a model.
That was a model.
How to make the same
They're
amount
going to have to.
Yeah.
Well,
one thing I learned from this article and doing a little bit more research on hockey in Arizona is that they have one of the best minor hockey communities in the United States in terms of the Arizona market. I think it's one of the top 5 fastest growing hockey communities in America. And the people there are falling in love with the game. And if the Tempe Arena goes through, I've heard this a lot too, it's a perfect place. Like that could be a permanent home for the Coyotes for decades to come. And it'll grow communities, it'll grow hockey. Mm-hmm. And you want to root for the fans and you want everything to succeed. You want this plan to come through, but everything that's led up to it has proven the complete opposite.
Yes.
But we want to root for this to Arizona and the Coyotes to succeed in this state because there's a whole bunch of hockey fans who deserve so much better than this. And it's just gone absolutely terribly every step of the way.
So from HockeyDB, the Tucson Roadrunners' yearly attendance was going up and up and up and up, and then COVID screwed it up. They're still getting, or this season they're getting about 3,500 fans a game.
People love hockey in Arizona
for where the Coyotes are going.
Yeah,
no, they do love hockey there.
Yeah.
Of course, and it's not a question of whether they love hockey. It's a question of, does the business work? Does this business model work?
Is it not working because of bad management?
Oh,
1,000% it's bad management.
Yeah.
There's no situation where you could look at the Coyotes' tenure in Arizona and call it a success.
Yeah.
There isn't. People go, well, you got Austin Matthews out of it. And you got a few other
the Leafs
players
got Austin Matthews out of it.
Yeah, the Leafs did. But, and Matthew Nyes. And, okay, I think you're looking at the good and not acknowledging that it could have been far better. If hockey got the likes of Austin Matthews and Matthew Nyes, I believe Sean Couturier was born there. I don't know.
Burned as well.
And burned there. I don't know how much he grew up there. If the Coyotes have been run so poorly, and that is what hockey has gotten out of that market, with it being run so poorly, imagine if it was run well.
Yeah. Well, and that's why you can see why Gary Bettman's like, there's a huge opportunity here.
Yeah.
Because despite all this shit, look at what's going on.
If he didn't think that there was something there, he would have pulled the plug decades ago.
Of course there's something there. So please put someone with a brain that isn't located in their ass in charge of the Coyotes.
Also, get Bettman out of there.
Well, who are you talking about?
I thought you meant just their owners.
Yeah, no, I was talking about their owners, but I also decided to take a shot at old Gary.
I feel like somebody else besides Gary and his regime and these owners could have been a lot more creative in the way the Coyotes have been run. And the creativity could have come down to just pay your bills. They're in an arena right now, and if they had just paid their bills, they could have stuck around in this arena until the next one's built. If you had just created a great relationship with the Gila River community, then it could have just been fine. We would have been out of this stupid college arena situation. Plus, there's another arena in Arizona State that's 10K. I forget the name of it, but it's like around the corner or whatever. And if they had foreseen this financial troubles with the Gila River Arena, they could have remodeled that like a year ahead of time and had it ready for next year. But that's too late. It's way too late to get that construction started. There's so many issues here.
It's, again,
and
I'm not discrediting the good decisions, but there's just so many more bad ones.
It's made harder, though, by the fact that these guys didn't pay their bills.
Yeah. A lot of it boils down to that.
Like, if they had paid their bills, and this is, and sometimes in businesses you go through a choke point where things get really tight and you're like, okay, so the next 5 years we're going to have to really grit our teeth through this, but this is going to pay off, and the 5 and 10 year projections are really good. I think 10 years from now, if everything goes to plan, this will have been a good plan. Mm-hmm. But you've made a hard situation much harder by saying, by going through this the way they have and not paying their bills on time, not taking that stuff seriously. Because that's what it comes down to. These guys have the money to pay their bills on time. They just chose not to. They're billionaires. They have the money. They chose not to. Now, the other thing I want to throw out there, and this is a problem for the NHLPA. One last point. There is no provision in the agreement between the players and ownership right now that allows the NHLPA to do anything about this.
Great union.
No protection for this.
Great union.
They do
a great job.
The way this is done, the players, and they should have looked at baseball, didn't think, well, the owners wouldn't intentionally try to lose money, would they?
The NHLPA union dues are theft.
Well, they need to be better. That needs to, of course, not every franchise and every owner is going to try to be competitive.
I'm not anti-union.
Some of them are not even
stupid union.
Well, because the whole argument would have been, well, why would you need to do that? Of course, they're trying to make money. Well, no, they're not. Baseball owners have been trying to lose money for the last 2 or 3 years. They've just stopped signing free agents. Baltimore has basically ceased to be an organization that you even bother tuning in for. They lose 110 games a year.
Which, as a Jays fan, cool.
It's great. I love that because listen, it's the only easy out in the entire division. But
no
kidding.
The
thing is, the only thing that will move the needle on this, and it goes back to what Alan told us on Agent Provocateur earlier this season. The only thing that moves the needle on this is the owners don't want to pay for Arizona's poor management. The owners are the ones writing the check for equalization payments. The 50-50 rev share for the players, the owners could give a shit about that. But the players are ultimately getting screwed here because they're tied into that. Arizona's losing a pile of money. They're going to lose a pile more next year. And the players have to help foot the bill for that. But the owners, who are billionaires, who know the guy who hired the guy that runs the league, are going to say, yeah, no, you're leaving them out of this. Yeah. We're not writing that check.
I give NHL owners shit because they don't like spending money on good stuff.
Yeah.
Imagine how much they hate spending money on stupid shit, like a team playing in a sub 4,000 seat arena.
We are 4 NHL seasons away from the CBA expiring, the summer of 2026.
Right when the arena's built.
Boy. Oh boy!
Don't say it! Don't say it! Don't say it!
Are we in for a wild summer of 2026 and fall?
Don't you dare!
That'll be worse than the Mitch Marner contract year.
Don't you dare!
We are gonna see the fallout of all of these years of the salary cap and these teams fighting. And oh boy, are the players gonna fight with the owners?
Oh my god! Don't you dare! Can you imagine they finally get the building built?
No hockey. Steve, what do you plan on doing for the 26-27 season when the league is in a lockout?
I heard that the new Grand Theft Auto will be out there by then, and the new Red Dead Redemption will be out by then, too.
Actually?
So I'll probably do that. Stick of Truth 4, whenever that comes out. You know that scene?
The Harry Potter game is coming out this winter, so there'll probably be a Harry Potter 2 by then.
I'm going to be doing that. What about... What about you know that scene from Breaking Bad where Walter White goes into the crawl space only to discover no money is there, and then he has a nervous breakdown?
Yeah.
That's what I plan on doing.
Just daily. Adam, will you finally take golf lessons and come out golfing in the summer of 2026?
Yeah, because there's not going to be much else to do.
Hockey, no.
I mean, we're going to be able to do this show. It's just a question of what we talk about.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to, you know what, we'll have a lot of fun, actually. If there is a lockout, this show would go bonanza. Like, it'd be crazy.
I'll get around to Red Dead Dangle Redemption episode 2.
Oh, yeah, you'll film episode 2.
I finally did episode 1.
People loved it, man.
Goddamn right. Because we got to shoot some O'Driscolls. Am I right, folks?
So the problem I have is that if I want to do this, doing a regular scheduled one sometimes would mean missing a Leaf game because I can't do it between 5 and 7 because, you know, Everly's back from school and dinner and all that stuff.
Just do it on days there's not Leafs games.
So you don't have to do it a regular scheduled time?
Just make sure you just announce like on the Monday what day you're doing it, and who cares?
Here, try this. Everly, Daddy's going to play games now.
Cool.
Let's try that.
Because what I was thinking in the new F1, there's 10 teams in F1. You can build an 11th team, and your job is literally to be the GM of that team. And so I could even sim the races. I could do exactly what Jesse's doing, and you have to bring on sponsors, and you have to try not to lose money. You have to hire drivers, do all the things. Apparently, I haven't played it yet because I'm just doing career driver mode right now, but it's apparently spectacular. And
I'm sold.
They are actually coming out with an F1 manager only game. So you become literally the manager because the managers are just as famous as the drivers.
Sure, I was just thinking about our podcast network. I'm like, that's a lot of hockey shows.
I know.
For if there's a lockout.
We'll have diversified by then. Listen, if you think that SDPN is only going to do hockey, you're out of your mind. There's things coming. There's things coming we're very excited about. But for now.
When are you doing episode 2? Do you know? For anybody, we didn't even really explain it. Steve finally streamed Red Dead Redemption on Twitch.
Red Dead Dangle Redemption. Listen, I know everyone wants a fixed schedule. I just don't see that happening.
Not necessary.
I'm gonna, when I have nights that I'm available, I'll probably play something in the neighborhood of like 8 to 10. Play for a couple hours, and we'll just stream Red Dead and talk about Red Dead, and you can ask me questions about anything you want. You can do hockey. I don't really care. And we'll just have fun.
And because that was what, Monday night?
It was after the trade deadline.
You gave everybody 0 heads up. So for episode 2,
including the mods,
can we have like a couple days so people can anticipate it and get ready and be like, okay, that's going to be the night?
Fine.
Okay. just for the sake of people's schedules and the mods.
I will do that.
Okay, good.
Well, what if an O'Driscoll spy had intercepted it, and then they would prepare,
Should we do the press conference? Hey, let's talk about HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip steps to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit,
Number one.
Number one. Yeah. See, HelloFresh has fit and wholesome recipes for satisfying and nutritious meals that you can feel good about. With
like what?
6 recipes per week. You could choose from them. And there are low-calorie and carb-conscious options. But here's what I love. It's a bit cold still, right? A little spring warmth. How about that in your meal? Warm yourself up from the inside out with the limited-time recipes inspired by cozy classics from around the world like beef tenderloin and cheese fondue.
Give me that.
Or miso sesame shrimp and bacon ramen.
I want those.
Right? Well, if you want them, check this out. Go to HelloFresh.com/STP16. That's SDP16. Why 16, you ask?
2016 was a great year for the Leafs.
Hopefully it will be. But no, 16 free meals and 3 gifts. You get up to 16 free meals and 3 gifts. All you have to do is go to HelloFresh.com/SDP16. Again, it's HelloFresh.com/SDP16. Do it!
It was a great year.
Is your company or business having a tough time hiring the people that you need?
Ugh, I can't stand the people I work with. Oh.
We are here. The mic's on.
Oh, my bad.
Listen, there are 46% more jobs being posted than before the pandemic and 44% fewer candidates applying for each one. So you need to find the right candidates. You need to hire them fast, and Workable can help. Here's the thing. Workable casts the widest net possible by posting your jobs to all the top job boards, over 200 in total, in one click. It's amazing. It also helps you evaluate and hire people quickly with modern tools like video interviews and e-signatures. And Workable will help you automate repetitive tasks like, scheduling interviews, so you can spend time on what's important and making hires. Whether you're hiring for a coffee shop or your engineering team, Workable is exactly what you need to find the right people fast. And starting today with a risk-free 15-day trial, if you hire someone during the trial, so you sign up for this, you hire somebody during that 15-day trial, which many do, it will not cost you a thing. Go to Workable.com to start hiring. Workable is hiring made easy. So, Steve, you can hire whoever you want.
Thank goodness.
Sure. Okay.
The presser SDP.
By the way,
Arthur.
Conference.
I'm looking at the group chat right now with CJ and Julian, and CJ said this: I can't believe we have another show to do tomorrow.
Man, there are times in the schedule where, especially on back-to-backs, like I'll get to the end of an LFR and I'll just go, haha, fuck. Because
and then
I got another one tomorrow.
And a podcast the next day.
Those are the worst turnarounds when it's game podcast game within 24 hours. It's a lot.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. And like often accompanying like probably some sort of Sportsnet task as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I love what I do.
Jesse, what do we got questions wise?
Adam, I was going through the history corner questions channel. Do you want to do a history corner today?
Yeah, sure.
Do you want to pick one? If you want to pull up the Discord there and go through the history corner requests while I ask a question to Steve, and then you can just pick a comment.
While I'm doing that, why don't you guys do a Steve question?
Yeah. So I sprung that on you.
No, it's all good.
I just thought like, hey, we haven't done that in a little bit. Let's do that. Let me get my question for Steve here.
We got any of those Leaf game ones?
Leafs game trivia.
Oh, I like that.
Those
That'll
are
give me some
good.
time.
I do like those.
Steve, who's the former Leafs goalie who's like playing at Lollapalooza?
What?
Oh, it's Garret Sparks.
So
what?
Garret Sparks is playing at Lollapalooza.
Playing what?
So you know how they have that whole band lineup, and there's like every band, and then there's like in the like the bands that play the small stages are in the tiny font. He is the last band on the stage, is right there. But it's not Garret Sparks. I forget what they're called, but it is Garret Sparks.
Bucky Cheds.
Bucky Cheds.
Yeah, there you go. Leafs goalie Kings goalie Garret Sparks will be performing at Lollapalooza under his name Bucky Cheds, his DJ name.
Actually?
Yes.
You're not making this up?
No. The Bar Down did an article on him. I don't know when this article came out. Must have been a little bit ago. But yeah, he's a DJ. Garret Sparks. You haven't heard this as
never.
Okay, so breaking news: Garret Sparks is also a DJ. He goes by the name Bucky Cheds. He can perform at Lollapalooza this year, which is kind of cool. You don't really hear about hockey players having like side things.
Did you know that?
You know,
also playing at Lollapalooza is the CEO of Goldman Sachs. And it's not because he bought his. He's like been a DJ for a while, and he did. I don't know if you remember this, but early on in the pandemic, the Chainsmokers played a show when they shouldn't have, like in one of those places that was not locked down, and people were like, "What the fuck are you doing?" It was like end of March or whatever, and that guy opened for them. So the Chainsmokers took the heat, but the CEO of Goldman Sachs was the opening DJ, and he was like, "Oh, I was also there, but nobody mentioned that." So it's crazy. It's just like a thing that he took up.
Cool world.
Yeah.
Very cool planet.
Yeah.
Do you have a Leaf game one? Or any questions?
I'm more interested in
Bucky Cheds.
Bucky Cheds. So he has a playoff warm-up mix on SoundCloud. I want to listen to it.
Are we allowed to play it?
No. I don't know what's in it, so I don't want to play it on the show, but I'm going to listen to it after.
Okay.
But I'm very interested in Bucky Cheds' career and how it goes and how his set goes at Lollapalooza. Adam, do you have your history corner?
So a lot of people are asking about because, and I understand why, the Ukrainian-Russian history here. I have to admit that my Ukrainian history is more spotty than I would like it to be. But I know some pretty major events that happen. I just don't want to hit it until I actually have done a little bit more research, because it's a pretty sensitive topic. And I think that doing it right now would not be good. But obviously, I know some of the major events that happen. I just don't think it's a good one. But everybody to a person is asking about that, right on back to like the Crimean War and like in the 1850s. The Crimean War, part of it is probably the part I know the most about. And then, of course, the famine that happened in the 1930s, which was Stalin constructed. So I'm going to keep looking. Give me 2 seconds and I'll keep rolling.
Steve, this question is from Good Stick Lecky. Has a sports trade ever made you genuinely cry and feel emotions before? They are guessing that Reimer for you is the answer, but is there a true answer?
Well, so, okay, I didn't cry for Reimer, but it was legitimately emotional because I was in Montreal for a trip and left my laptop on the plane. Did not discover this until I got to my hotel. Called the airline. They magically had my laptop at the airport in Lost and Found. And I got Andrew Berkshire to pick me up and drive me to the airport. And I was so happy and so relieved. And on the way there, Reimer got traded in a hunk of shit trade. And I was like, cool, my favorite goalie is gone, and they also got nothing for him. So that's great. So that one made me sad. Felix Potvin for Brian Berard. Felix Potvin was my childhood idol. I was devastated by that. Pretty good trade.
And you were at an age where that's like the most emotional thing in the world.
I was 10.
There you go. Yeah.
I was 10 when that happened, because that would have been late 98, I think. Yeah, I was really sad about that one, and like was reluctant to accept Cujo, and then he was really good. So I was like, all right, fair enough. But yeah, I was pretty cheesed. I only saw Felix Potvin play live once.
Jesse, I want to ask you that question. Who was it for you?
Vince Carter moving was pretty emotional for me.
That was
I think
tough.
every Toronto kid, I think that era, because especially as a kid, when you don't know the inner politics of just a sports team and how, hey, he kind of quit on the franchise and he asked for a trade and all that stuff. You just see Vince Carter, Entity, Air Canada leaving the city. Like, that sucked. And especially for a package that from New Jersey that was absolute dog shit, and nobody was essentially coming back in the trade.
And I remember hearing Alonzo Mourning's name and being like, okay, I know that name.
He's never going to play.
And then he doesn't want to come here. I'm like, great.
Mm-hmm. That was really unfortunate. I remember Sundin's Sundin's last kind of hurrah with the Leafs. It wasn't like emotional, but I was like, this sucks. You know, like my entire existence as a Leafs fan has been with Sundin, like, and then Sundin leaves, and I'm like, this I don't feel good today. You know, I was like, today's a bad day. I like Mats.
This wasn't a trade, but Cujo going to Detroit sucked.
Yeah, that one did suck. I remember that.
Did I ever tell you about the story Cujo told me about that?
No.
I think you did, but I forget, and please go.
Okay, so here's some history corner for you. A lot of the questions here are spectacular. I just want to make sure that I answer them correctly, right?
Okay.
There's another show Friday.
Yeah, so we can
come
pick
back
one
with something. We don't have to. I sprung it on you like out of nowhere.
Yeah, and I always, so here's what happened with History Corner, right? There was a situation where I talked about the Ottoman Empire and spoke about the genocide with the Armenian population in the Ottoman Empire, and I didn't refer to it as a genocide at the time, and a lot of Armenian, Canadian, and American and Armenians, just straight up, we have listeners everywhere, reached out and said, hey, that was offside, and they were absolutely right. And so now sometimes when I look at this stuff, you realize even stuff that happened, especially stuff that happened around World War I, all of it still plays into our life every single day. It's why I'm so fascinated with the time period. So I do want to be a little bit more careful with it because it's not flippant. It matters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you control it. There is some stuff that I'm sure you could do fly by the seat of your pants.
Sure,
but
absolutely.
That's
some of the stuff here. A lot of it's Ukrainian, Russian. But I'll have something ready for you on Friday. But I'll tell you this: here's a hockey history corner. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
So Cujo, I was at Ty Domi's book launch, and this is where my famous story, if you haven't heard this, my say hi to Phil story. So quick one on that one. Ty Domi and Mario Lemieux are very, very good friends. So there's a lot of former hockey players there. And so my mom and I are going, and Ty Domi, there's still actually a bus in a parking lot that I pass every day that says Ty Domi shift work on it. It's still there. It's still the promo bus for it. And it was, I got to meet Mario Lemieux, whose hands are gigantic. And at the time, Phil Kessel had just went to Pittsburgh. So I was nervous around Mario Lemieux, and I looked at him and I said, say hi to Phil. And he was like, okay. Anyway,
that hurts.
No, and then you said,
what did I say?
Like Kessel.
Kessel.
That's the icing.
I swept that under the rug. Did I say that?
Yes, you did.
Oh! Damn it. That was like 6 years ago.
Is that a shower scream
that's
for
a
you?
Shower screamer for sure.
Yeah.
Damn it. I wish I hadn't even brought that up because now, anyway, the lesser
I love
story.
that you know what I'm talking about. There's moments, you're just washing your hair and you remember something, embarrassing you said in grade 6.
Yep.
It's the worst.
Yep.
I'm sure Jesse does that all the time. You know how you do?
Can I ask one last
hold on. Let me tell you this Cujo story.
Sorry. Let's get to the Cujo story.
So a lot of people, Cujo never said this to me. So I got to talk to Cujo at the party. And he's really, really nice. Like super nice guy. And he wouldn't know who I was. Like he was just like, I don't know. Here's a guy who I assume is in broadcasting. And anyway, so we're chatting. And I said, Curtis, I have to tell you, I remember listening to the radio when it said you signed with Detroit. And he said, oh, man. He said, well, let me tell you this. And he might have put this in his book. I'm not sure. But he said, I went to training camp that year. And I'm obviously in Detroit for the first time. Big star goaltender, whatever, big contract. And he didn't say who, but he was pulling up his socks. And a rookie came up to him. A rookie. Now, you have to imagine what a rookie is like. This is a guy that just signed a $20 million contract, and you're a rook. And the rookie comes up to him and says, wow, those just look wrong on you.
All right, and now we play Who
Was a Rookie
Done
That
It.
Year.
That's so mean.
Well, and it was, and to Curtis's credit, he said, and he was right.
Oh.
He said, I knew I made a mistake.
Okay, there's a greater...
And that, I was like, no.
There's a greater than 0% chance that rookie was Sean Avery.
That sounds like a Sean Avery thing. Can we confirm that? Can we reach out to Sean and see if that's real?
Okay, so
I don't know Sean.
The youngest guys in the team, so there's a 21-year-old. Okay, sorry. So there's 3 22-year-olds, Yuri Fisher, Jason Williams, and Sean Avery. Sean Avery, I believe, Pickering, Ontario. Jason Williams, London, Ontario. And there was a 21-year-old off-the-board pick.
Zetterberg?
Henrik Zetterberg.
Oh! Well, I don't think it would have been Henrik.
Swedish. No, lots of Swedes loved the Leafs.
Oh.
Because of Mats.
Of course. And Borja before that.
And Borja before that.
Oh.
It could have been
Man,
Zetterberg,
okay,
dude.
it feels like a Sean Avery thing to say because Sean would just, he blurts, right? He says
Why are
stuff.
you trying to torpedo the old man's confidence like that? Don't do that, Sean.
Like, it's Sean Avery.
Look at Sean Avery's hockey
Man.
pick.
Why does he have those glasses?
I don't know why he has those glasses on.
Oh,
It
man,
bothers
Sean.
me right now.
I would love to know.
What was the exact line?
He said basically that those socks look wrong on you. You shouldn't be here. You should be in Toronto.
Should go back.
And Cujo admitted that to me. He said he was right. And I have to be honest.
I feel like you don't say those things.
Well, I think if you're if you're Sean Avery, you know what I find with people that I meet from
I guess it's honest.
Sweden, Finland, Norway is how blunt they are.
Yeah.
They just tell you what they think. And actually, my girlfriend's Dutch. They're like that too. They don't have there's not we're trying to be polite. It's like, this is the truth. Deal with it.
So I think I've told the story before, but there was the simulator ride at the zoo.
Yeah.
It's this pod that you get in. There's a screen at the front, and it plays a movie, and it shakes around to what you see in the movie.
Okay.
I told the story with Mike Weir, right? There was this guy, I think he was from Finland or Norway.
Okay.
Huge dude. Stoic face. Nothing.
Always.
And he really wanted to go on the ride by himself. But he came with people. And there's a camera for the inside to make sure, nothing bad is happening. Or, there's a medical whatever.
Sure.
So I'm there, and his wife or girlfriend is just standing there with me. The door to the booth where I operated is open. She can see the camera. I know she can see the camera. He's just sitting there, face unchanging, but he's slightly jolting around as this cartoon gorilla picks up and shakes his make-believe car. And, literally, and he's just he's just sitting there completely straight-faced. And finally, I just look at his wife. I go, I don't think he's enjoying this very much. And she goes, no. He's finished. Trust me.
Right.
He's having a great time.
Yeah, and he just gets out and he's like, that was wonderful.
I don't know if you saw it. You probably didn't. You haven't got there to Drive Survive, but Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton ran into each other in Italy at Monza last year. Monza's an amazing track, and Hamilton and Verstappen were duking it out for first place, and they literally drove on top of each other. And Hamilton's teammate, Valtteri Bottas, is Finnish. So after the race, Bottas finishes, I think, third. So Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris came 1 and 2. And then Bottas finishes third. So, he keeps Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship, which is really important. And they have what's got to be a 20 or a 25-foot screen behind him. And all the screen is doing is replaying the crash. That's all the screen is doing. And so the reporter asks, hey, Valtteri, did you see the crash? And he goes, no. And he's like, well, it's playing on the screen behind you. And he literally just kind of looks at it and then kind of smirks and goes, and literally, it's been a meme ever since. Like, he just kind of, yeah, that's it.
I love it.
Yeah, and that's his teammate. But it was, anyway, Finnish, the Finns, man, they're wild. They're wild. They're the best people to interview because they're just so, anyway, long story short, I would love to know if Sean Avery, if you hear this, I would love to know if it was you.
And why you gotta say that to a new teammate? Why you gotta do that?
Welcome
him to the team. Don't be like, you should have been still with the
I don't think he was a rookie, right? So I don't even know if he was in a place where he could say welcome to the team.
Right.
I don't think Sean Avery ever had that moment.
Yeah. Do you think Sean Avery?
I maybe shouldn't say this.
Has he ever had that?
No,
I don't think so. I would love to know.
Can I ask one last
thing? Yeah.
So this has been an ongoing storyline for you, Steve, and kind of the show. throughout the entire season, because there's something very interesting that can happen this year with all the pandemic missed games. Somebody can play more than 82 games this year.
Yes.
Now with the trade deadline passed, who can do it?
I hadn't looked it up.
Thankfully, we have a Discord where
Excellent.
they have discovered the 2 players in the NHL who can play 83 games this year.
God bless our Discord.
JCADX has one, and Moose has the other. Steve Dangle, can you name those 2 players who can play 83 games?
I am. It's only 83.
Yeah,
so the record's 86.
We were looking at early in the year. We're like, can we get to like 90, something stupid? But
so a month ago, there was still a possibility of a player playing 89.
Oof,
89.
But they would have had to get traded, right?
Okay, so let me think.
All right, so
There were 2 teams that were way behind in games played, and that was the Islanders and Wild.
Mm-hmm.
Kaapo Kähkönen wouldn't fit because he's a goalie.
Mm-hmm.
Who did the Islanders trade? Did they trade anyone? Oh man.
Your logic is leading you down the right path. I'll give you that.
Well, okay. Oh man.
just keep going. Just keep going. You were thinking it through, and you were doing really well.
Steven.
It's a very hard question.
Islanders and Wild. I can't think of anyone.
And there's 25 trades the day of, and then leading up to that, there was like 10 or 15 more. So this is tough.
So think about a couple guys who got traded.
Okay, so the Sharks traded. No. Oh no. So I'm going the wrong way. It's someone traded to those teams.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good thinking. That's a way to use your noggin.
Noggy poo.
Jacob Middleton went from the Sharks to the Wild. And who else went to Marc-Andre Fleury, but he's a goalie.
Uh-huh.
By the way, Jacob Middleton's mustache.
Right?
That's a mustache.
Good
man.
mustache.
And there was another deal. Colorado played a lot of games. What was the trade?
Give me your 2 guesses.
Is it Tyson Jost?
Give me 2 guesses.
Jacob Middleton and Tyson Jost.
Steve Dangle. You have 1 of 2.
Hey! Pass!
That's good.
That is really good for just throwing
Which one?
So Tyson Jost has a chance at 83 games coming over from Colorado and Minnesota.
So that wasn't even the deadline.
No, a little earlier. Like he was
a
like
few days
last
earlier.
That's
Thursday?
still a deadline.
About a
Last
week ago.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
So he's already played 3 games with Minnesota. He played 59 with Colorado, so he can hit that 83 number. And the other name, also a player traded to the Minnesota Wild. You nailed it. The exact situation that these 2 guys could hit 83, and Tyson Jost is one of them. Who else was traded to the Wild that could hit 83?
To the Wild. Who did they pick up? They picked up Fleury. They picked up Middleton. They picked up Jost. Oh my God! Who else did the Wild get?
Western Conference team.
Okay.
You're gonna.
Okay, so it's not Detroit. I know Detroit played a lot of games. I don't think it's Colorado because they already made that deal. Who else has played a lot of games? Washington's played a lot of games, but it wouldn't be them. A Western Conference team made a deal with the Wild.
Mm-hmm. As soon as I say it, you're gonna be like, I forgot that deal even happened.
I'm gonna be very upset. I know. Trying to think if they made a deal up front or on the back end.
You got 40 seconds.
Oh my God. Okay, so 40 seconds. I got some time. To think this through. Who are the teams in the Western Conference? We got Calgary. They're not going to do you any favors. Who are the shitty teams? We got the Jets made some deals.
Adam, tell me when to hit the button.
I think we're past the button.
Fuck. Who?
The other player who has a shot at playing 83 games this year is Nick Delorier.
Who is he even on?
He was on the Anaheim Ducks.
Yeah.
See you Friday.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.